There you are, my dear companion. Come closer now, yes. Just there by the fire. The stone beneath the firs is cold, but not unkind. The snow has softened in patches around the flame, and see its edges glow like amber beneath a blanket of frost. It has been waiting for us, I think. This fire, this quiet, this hour of stillness between stars. No need for words yet. Let the hush hold us a while longer. The wind has grown gentle tonight. It moves like breath over the hills, threading through pine boughs and old bark, humming low and far like the memory of a song not sung for years. You hear it too, don't you? That sound, so soft, it could almost be imagined, but it's real. All of it is. The fire, the snow, the great slow sky above us. Look up if you wish. The heavens have painted themselves just for tonight. Ribbons of green and pale violet drift across the stars, folding, unfolding, like a great silk unfurled by the hands of night herself. I've heard it called many things, ghostlight, starfire, the breath of the old gods, but to me it is simply peace. Ah, the sky, peace, not silence, no. Even the stars seem quieter beneath it. It waits for us. Their flickers slower, their twinkling more sure. You're wrapped well, Soli. Soli Theffer, across your shoulders once lined a winter cloak of mine, sewn thick with care by hands far gentler than mine. It's warm still, even after all these years. Funny, isn't it? How warmth lingers in things, even after the fires have gone cold, even after names are forgotten, just like this fire waited for you. Non not do a no pustin tibor. And so, let us sit, let us breathe. There is nothing to chase, no tale to untangle just yet. The fire is small tonight, but it knows how to keep company. Its flame dances low, like a storyteller with no need to hurry, flickering slow between logs chosen with care. You see that coal there, the one glowing deepest red? That's the heart of it, quiet, steady, never needing to prove itself. But if your eyes are heavy, or your thoughts are tired, I will carry this hour for you. I will speak gently, slowly, until the fire hums you to sleep, and the sky folds your thoughts in green. You need not speak. I will not ask questions. I am content to share silence with you, should you wish it. Snow surrounds us, but it does not threaten. It cushions the world, softening every edge. Even our breath rises more slowly in the cold, as if the air itself wishes us to rest, to sit, to be. That's what this night is for, dear heart. Not for great feats, nor even for memories, just for being. With the cold around us, the fire between us, and the stars above. Here beside me you are not alone. Whatever path brought you here, across snow or sorrow or simple curiosity, it was enough. You are here now, wrapped in warmth, cradled by stillness. And I, too, am here, not as a knight with sword or tail, but simply as a soul beneath the stars, grateful for quiet company. There is a kind of holy hush in the north, have you noticed? The kind that comes not from reverence, but from rest. Even the trees bow gently beneath its weight. And we, well, we do what we must to meet it. We rest, we listen, we breathe. Yes, that sips it. Breathe, slowly. Let it hold you. The fire will not fade. The night is kind. Do you feel that, my friend? And I am so very glad you came. You are safe here, my friend. That stillness beneath the surface of everything. Not silence exactly, but something beneath it, deeper. It lives in this northern land like roots beneath snow, quiet, unseen but steady as breath. All around us the high north stretches wide and unhurried. No walls, no roads, only the hush of white upon white and the long exhale of winter's keeping. Even now I hear the soft weight of snow settling behind us, gathering gently atop stone and pine alike. The forest accepts it, the world accepts it, and so do we. The ground beneath our fire is firm, blanketed by a crust of fresh snow that crunches faintly when pressed. But see how it does not resist. It yields, just a little, to let us rest here, just as the old pines above yield to the wind. It welcomes those who tread softly, as we have. The Sace is not a hard life, though it is a cold one. They've simply learned how to bend. Do you see how they sway? Even now, just past the light of our little fire, the tallest branches moving slow and sure. Not quite dancing, more like remembering. As if the wind is speaking to them in a language we've forgotten, and they are nodding back in kind. It is a gentle wind tonight, not the kind that scours your face or chases warmth from your cloak. No, this wind curls around us like a story halfway told, never rising above a hush. It moves through pine needles and dry moss, stirring little clouds of frost from branches and breath alike. It carries nothing urgent, only the scent of wood smoke, old bark, and snow just beginning to melt. Can you smell it? That faint sweetness in the air? We are not near any village now. There are no bells, no roads, no markers save for the stars and the trails the elk have worn smooth across the ridges. But the scent still lingers, doesn't it? A reminder that warmth can live in cold places too. Just look above us. It reminds me of mornings long ago when I'd wake to the soft creak of shutters and the smell of winter bread warming by the hearth. That same mixture of smoke and sleep, and something clean, the way snow always smells when it begins to loosen its grip. The sky is unlike any I've known elsewhere. Not just black, but deep indigo and silver, dappled with stars so clear they seem to listen. Some flicker quick, like children whispering secrets. Others shine constant and slow, content to simply be. And winding through them are the aurora, like a river of woven light. See how it glides, not in a hurry. No, it coils and uncurls like breath caught in the chest of heaven. Green, mostly, but laced with streaks of blue and faint violet. A banner of the old world, I've heard it called. But to me, it's something gentler. There, light touches everything here. Look closely, and you'll see it resting on the frost, like spilled starlight. The snow gathers it in small glints, shimmering at the edges of logs, or catching in the hollows of your boots. Even your breath, when it rises, shimmers faintly with it, before vanishing into the cold. Sometimes, when I was younger, I thought those lights were spirits wandering across the heavens, searching for home. Now, I think perhaps they've already found it. Perhaps they're not moving at all, just glowing for the joy of it. A veil the sky wears when she sits at rest. I've always found it strange how quiet can be so full. Here, the stillness doesn't feel empty. It feels alive, full of noticing. There's a stream not far from us, frozen over now, of course. But I passed it earlier, and the ice sang beneath my feet, like a harp string, not loud, just a single note stretched long, as though the water beneath still remembers the shape of movement, even in sleep. And the wolf, did you hear it earlier? Far off, across the slope, one low, weary call, like a question asked into the wind. Not hunger, no, more like memory, as if she too had paused to look at the sky and wondered who else might be watching. I do not think she calls again tonight. That one note was enough. Everything here moves with care, even time. The hours pass slowly in the north, stretched thin by the long dusk. It gives the day a kind of softness, like wool pulled across the frame of the world. You'll notice it tomorrow, perhaps. The sun doesn't rush over the horizon. It simply glows for a while, golden and low, before slipping away again. But tonight, there is only this quiet, this fire. We are small things beneath it, you and I, this snow that accepts our weight, and this great sky that offers no judgment, only light. No, never that, but not forgotten. I sometimes wonder if this land, so far from cities and keep walls, remembers us better than any scroll ever could. In the hush of its breath, in the patience of its pines, in the way the stars remain even when we do not see them. We are part of it now, just by breathing slow, just by sitting here. Only the beauty of the world in winter, and the kindness of a fire that asks nothing but your presence. So let us stay a while longer, dear one. Let your shoulders settle. Let your thoughts wander like the aurora itself, without worry or shape. There is nothing to reach for, nothing to prove. Rest here, with me. The night is long, but it is also soft. You know, my dear friend, there was a time I might have filled a night like this with stories of where I've been. Names of valleys, rivers crossed, bridges I've slept beneath, and towers I've once looked up at with awe or caution. And in this northern quiet, you are home, but not tonight, not here. Here I have no need to count miles or name hills. Tonight is not about where I have come from, it is about where I've chosen to stay. And when I found this place, this hollow among pines with stars above and snow below, I knew it, not from memory, no, but by something deeper, the way one knows the rhythm of their own breath after a long walk. A place does not need to be known for long to be known deeply. Some places, like some people, ask nothing but your presence to feel like home. I did not come to this northern clearing by way of fleeing. There was no chase, no sorrow pressing at my heels. I came because my feet grew tired of searching, and my heart grew hungry for quiet. Not empty quiet, no, not the kind that leaves you restless. I sought the sort that softens you, that fills you like the warmth of a woolen cloak warmed by the fire. You may notice, if you look closely, how the plates catch the firelight, how they flicker orange and gold, like drowsy coals. And that sword of mine, yes, the one resting there, planted in the earth, blade down, I haven't drawn it in a long while. I no longer wear it for protection. I keep it as a promise. A quiet one. No battles tonight, no need for defense. Just rest, just the breath between stars. The snow here falls differently. Slower. It does not hide, but hushes. My old joints creak when I move. Yes, even now as I lean a little closer to the fire, but that sound is not unwelcome. My armor, once polished like a mirror, now wears a film of frost upon the edges, and I let it. I welcome it. Once I thought, purpose was found only in motion, in taking paths no one dared, in serving calls louder than my own. Stillness can carry meaning too, but there sits a strange truth you learn, sitting beside a fire long enough. I've learned to listen, to wait, to feel the moments settle like snow on a bare branch, not heavy, but tender. Some nights I sit here and hear the fire speak back in little crackles and shifts, and I realize it doesn't ask where I've been, it only warms what's near it. This armor I wear, it holds stories, yes, dense from days long gone, a faded clasp from a festival where someone kindly pinned a ribbon on my chest, believing me brave for something I didn't quite understand. The inside is lined with wool now, patched and restitched with my own hands, not from battle wounds but from wear. Time teaches you that what's worth keeping isn't what shines but what endures. I do not sit here out of loneliness. I sit here out of choice. I've started to think that ispit's enough. There is something sacred in knowing when to stop, when to let the path go on without you, not out of defeat, but reverence. Let the younger boots press on. Let the urgent hearts carry the torch. Me? I till tend the ember. I'll sit at the edge of the map, where stories rest, and listen. You don't need to carry anything here, you know. Not your worries, not your questions, not even your name if it feels too heavy. Lay them down with the sword. Let the fire hold them a while. And tonight I'm grateful that you've chosen to sit beside me. You are not expected to be anything more than what you are here. Breathing, listening, alive. Did I witness beauty when it came quietly? I used to wonder what people would say about me when I was gone, what tales would be told, and if I'd be remembered rightly. But this cold air, this gentle quiet, it has a way of reordering such thoughts, of asking softer questions. Now, I wonder instead, did I keep warm those who needed it? Did I learn how to stop and simply be? You see, the snow teaches you. It falls on every branch the same, prince or pauper. It gathers without preference, melts without drama, and in its hush, it says, this moment, this stillness, it's not less. Not for hiding, not for regret, but for becoming small again, and knowing the world is still large and kind. Poetic, the sanctive made this my place. Even in armor, I can be soft. Even after all the wandering, I can sit still and mean it. Even with a sword beside me, I can keep it rooted. That, my friend, is why I came here. Not to disappear, but to remember who I am when I am no longer asked to prove it, and to share this fire with someone gentle enough to listen. So stay with someone like you. Stay as long as you like. Wizard have nowhere else to be. Do you feel it, my friend? Not the kind that clings or aches. No, this remembering is gentle, like breath on frost or the hush of wool laid over your shoulders. It stirs not to summon the past, but to share warmth with it, just for a little while. There's a stillness to this hour that carries more than silence. It carries remembering. Tonight we take part in something quiet and old, a tradition kept not in halls or temples, but here beneath the sky beside the flame. We call them sky offerings. They are for the names we whisper even when no one is listening. Not offerings in the way of barter or prayer. Not a bargain struck or favor asked. No, these fires are kindled for those we cannot hold anymore, and for what still holds us. When someone there loses a loved one, be it a mother, a friend, or simply a name they once heard sung, they light a fire under the open sky, not in mourning. Out there far below the cliffs where this forest ends and the land begins to roll like a slow sea. There are villages, small ones, hidden in pockets of pine and stone. I passed through them once long ago, when my boots were newer and my questions sharper. They do not have great towers or walls, but when the night is clear like this, you can see their lights twinkling low on the horizon, soft as stars drawn closer to the earth. But an invitation, and the sky remembers. Some say the soul never truly leaves, it just forgets the way home. And so the villagers light small flames and sit beside them, sometimes alone, sometimes in pairs, sometimes in silence. The fire is the invitation, the waiting is the welcome. It carries those flames upward, not in smoke or ash, but in warmth, in shimmer, in light that never quite ends. When I asked who it was for, he only said, "She liked the stars, so remember watching it the first time." A boy, perhaps 10 winters old, crouched beside a ring of stones with a little torch in hand. He wasn't weeping, he wasn't speaking, just watching the flame as it rose, as if it was speaking for him. Not because I knew the names, but because I know the feeling. And so Stev brought the tradition here. That stayed with me. Tonight, this fire is not only for warmth, it is a remembering fire, a sky offering, not for sorrow, but for honoring the way light lingers, even after it's gone from the room. Look at the flames if you like. They're small, yes, but steady. I built them with care. The wood is old pine, dry and whispering with resin. It burns slow with little smoke, and the scent it gives off is almost sweet, like winter apples and distant hearths. Each piece I placed, I thought of someone. He arranged the stones around it just so, not because they need to be perfect, but because attention is its own kind of reverence, not a face. Always, sometimes just a voice. Some memories are full, some are fragments, sometimes only the echo of a kindness or the memory of a hand offered on a cold morning. But all are welcome at the fire. And you, my friend, you are not here as a visitor. You are part of this offering, because memory does not belong only to the past. It lives in the ones who remember, in the way we speak softly, even when we could shout, in the way we pause to look at the sky, not to ask but to thank, in the way we share silence, not to avoid the world, but to listen for it. And though I do not know all the names, I light this fire for them still. There is a beauty in choosing to tend a flame for someone who cannot see it, for the ones who wandered too far, for the ones who waited too long. And tonight, perhaps I light it too, for the part of myself that once rushed so quickly through the world, I forgot to stop and notice the stars. For the ones who gave without asking. I wonder, is there someone you stood light a fire for? You don't need to say their name aloud. Let the crackle of the wood speak what the tongue cannot shape. The flame will hear it just the same. Let the warmth carry it upward, that to be shared. This fire doesn't need to know why. It only needs to burn. I find there stirs comfort in ritual. In a world that turns and turns and turns, there is still this, a quiet flame, a hand outstretched, a sky that listens, not for what it changes, but for how it centers. When the wind lifts the sparks, it does not scatter them. It carries them, and the aurora above, look, it's shifting again. Do you see that? The slow green curve folding gently through the stars. Some say it's the breath of the old world. Some say it's the sky remembering all the fires it's ever seen. So tomorrow. I don't always know which is true. I am here, beside you. What I do know is this. The fire is steady. There is no ceremony here. No rule or rite. The night is kind. The snow has softened its edges, just light and breath and space for remembering. And when the fire fades, it does not mean the memory has. It simply means we've given it warmth for a little while. So stay with me a while longer if you like. Feel the heat across your palms. Let your thoughts rise like the sparks, gentle, glowing, and unburdened. You are not alone in this remembering. And whatever name you carry tonight, the stars have heard it too. The fire's settled now, haven't you noticed? Flickering down into its deeper colors. Copper, coal red, the orange of old apples left in sun. Its breath is lower, steady, not quite sleepy but close, like it's begun to listen too. It's always like that here. Nothing rushes, not even change. And since we are warm now, and safe, and the wind is kinder than usual, perhaps I'll tell you a few things. It hums low, and the snow at its edge has begun to melt into little crystal beads. Slowly, tenderly, not grand things, just moments, quiet ones. Small, like lanterns in the distance, but held close they shine brighter than any tale of sword or shield ever could. You see, not all stories are told in words. Some are made of snow, of breath, of stillness, and some live only between two people sitting beside a fire. There was a winter, many years ago now, when I traveled farther north than this, beyond even the pine walls that hem this forest. I'd gone looking for the sound of silence. Strange, I know, but I wanted to hear what the world sounds like when it has nothing left to say, like this one. I found a hill there, just a bare hill covered in snow so fine it looked like powdered glass. Not many, no music, no celebration, just dancing. Slow, barefoot, stepping in patterns, too quiet for song. And there, I saw people dancing. He only smiled and said, "We dance so the sky one dift forget our weight." Later, I asked the elder of the nearby village about it. I watched for what must have been an hour, and not one of them broke the rhythm. They moved like snowfall, graceful, unhurried, almost sorrowful, but never sad. I never joined them, but sometimes when I walk through fresh snow, I let my feet fall just a little more softly, as if the sky is watching still. There was a friend I had once, years ago, and far south of here. He was a singer, though he claimed to have no voice, said it was broken, too rough, not good for ballads, but that never stopped him from humming, always humming, mostly in the mornings. Or this, green should sound low, he sipped say, like a deep breath through the ribs, and blue is a flutter, like wings tucked tight. He'd hum to the trees, to the wind, to his boots as he stitched them, but his favorite thing was to match his hums to the colors of the sky, especially when the aurora came. He was a strange man, beautiful-hearted. He once spent an entire night sitting by a frozen lake, trying to whistle the sky back into motion. He said it had paused, and he didn't want it to feel alone. I don't remember his name anymore, but I remember the sound of his breath in the dark, and how, for one perfect moment, the lights above did seem to sway in time with his song. Sometimes I hum now, too, just low enough that only the snow might hear me. And then there was the fox. I first saw her curled beside my cloak one morning, nose tucked beneath her tail, as if we'd always traveled together. She never asked for anything, never ran, just stayed when she chose to, and vanished when she needed to. Not a grand beast, no, just a pale, thin creature with eyes like frost on steel. She had a way of appearing on the loneliest nights, those just past the solstice, when the cold sits like stone inside the chest. I never fed her, never named her, but more than once I woke to find her pressing against my hip for warmth, steady and sure as any comrade. One night she lay beside me under the stars, both of us watching the green light roll like waves through the sky. And when I turned to speak, just something small, I don't even remember what, she looked at me just once. It was the kind of look that asks nothing. Not love, not ownership, just presence, as silent as the snowfall. And then she slipped away. But sometimes when I sleep close to the ground, I still feel that faint weight along my leg, and I never saw her again. Not heavy, just enough to remember. Just enough to know I was trusted once by something wild. There are other moments too, smaller still. Or the day I walked past a stone cairn and found tucked into its center a ribbon, faded red, tied in a knot only children know. No writing, no charm, just the act of placing something loved into the world and trusting it would remain. Like the time I lost a mitten in the snow, and the next night found it returned, laid neatly beside the fire pit, crusted in ice but dry inside. No tracks, no marks, just a quiet kindness offered without witness. These things, they don't it as ask to be remembered, and now they live in you too, but they live in me nonetheless, because you stir here, because you must be listened. That's all stories really ask of us. Not applause, not answers, just listening, like smoke curling upward. And I believe, I know, that when stories are spoken gently under a sky that breathes in green and gold, they become more than memory, they become part of the world again. Like footprints pressed just deep enough that the snow remembers, even after the wind passes. So I speak them now, not to teach or to entertain, but simply to place them in the air between us. Like lanterns drifting on winter water, like pine needles falling from high branches. Like lanterns drifting on winter water, they land softly, they rest, sunned. Perhaps in time they root. Even the quietest things can shape a life. The breath between songs, the space between footsteps, the look between friends beside a fire. That sips what tonight is. That's what you are in this moment. A companion of the hush, a keeper of the green-lit stillness, one who knows the value of stories not written but felt. So I'll keep speaking softly for a little while longer. And when the words fade, I'll sit with you in silence. For silence, too, is a kind of story. And the stars above, they remember everything. The fire sips quieter now, isn't it? Not fading. No, not that. Just settling. It's reached that part of the night where the flames no longer climb but lean inward, content, listening, breathing, a gentle hush beneath the crackle, like a lullaby only embers know how to sing. And I find in this moment, I feel the same. There was a time, not so long ago, though I've lived many winters, when my thoughts ran like horses, tireless, loud, always searching for meaning, always looking for answers in places that weren't meant to hold them. I carried those thoughts like weight in my chest. I thought that was strength, that if you held on long enough, if you never loosened your grip on memory or duty, then you'd never forget who you were. But the cold has taught me something softer. The cold and the quiet. Winter does not erase what came before. It preserves. Beneath these drifts are berries frozen whole. leaves golden still curled in perfect shapes, footprints of deer held in crystal outlines long after the creature has gone. What summer lets fade, winter keeps gently, not as a prison, as a gift, and I've begun to wonder if the same is true for us. Perhaps we don't need to carry everything. Perhaps when we lay something down in peace, the world holds it for us, not lost, just resting, waiting to be remembered in its own time, when the fire is warm and the sky is kind. That's how I feel tonight, sitting here with you by this fire beneath this strange and beautiful sky. I feel like I've set something down, something I didn't know I was holding. Not grief, exactly, not regret, just weight. The weight of being the one who remembers even when no one asks. But I don't mind remembering. Not now, not here. Because the truth is, some memories are warm. Even the ones we thought might burn us. They only burn when we fight them. But if you let them sit, if you give them room and breath and silence, they glow, like coals, like firelight on snow. There's a memory I think of often, on nights like this. A quiet evening in early autumn. I was younger, but already tired in ways I hadn't learned to name. I'd stopped at a river bend to rest, and an old woman came walking by. She wore a green shawl with gold threading, like moss shot through with sunlight, and she carried no pack, only a walking stick carved with stars. We didn't speak much, just nodded, sat by the same fire, shared the same silence. But before she left, she looked at me and said, "The heart sets not a chest, child. It sets a lantern, and not everything you place inside it is meant to be kept. Some things are meant to burn." She walked on. I never saw her again, but those words stayed with me longer than any sermon or sword oath. I think of them now when I let old things rise in my mind, faces I no longer see, hopes that have shifted their shape, moments that never came again. I used to fear letting them go. Now, I tend them like a fire. Just enough flame to warm, never enough to wound. There is an art, I think, to resting well, not just lying still, but truly. We speak often of courage and quest, of charge and change, but there is a bravery in staying, in sitting beside a fire and letting yourself soften, in choosing stillness when the world has only taught you to move. You, my dear companion, you've chosen to be here, to listen, and to breathe, and to let the night hold you. That is no small thing. That is its own kind of sacred, and the sky above us knows it. Oh, how it knows. Look, how it moves. The aurora tonight is softer than before, less a dance, more a sigh. Pale green curls over the treetops, brushing the stars like a mother smoothing a child's hair. It's quiet now, as if the sky has tired of trying to dazzle and has chosen instead simply to be, still radiant, but restful. I wonder sometimes what the aurora truly is. There are those who say it's the breath of old spirits, whispering to one another in colors the living cannot hear. Others believe it's light that never made it into the world below, dreams spoken in sleep that rose instead of rooted, echoes of hopes we forgot to live. I like that thought, especially tonight, that above us drift the colors of unspoken dreams, ones too tender, too quiet to demand attention, but too real to vanish. I wonder what color yours would be. Not the dreams you've chased with coin or calling, but the ones that found you in the quiet hours, the ones you kept to yourself, not out of fear, but reverence. Mine, I think, would be that pale green just there, the one that only lasts a moment before fading back into black. Soft, fleeting, beautiful. I've found peace in knowing not all dreams must be fulfilled to be true. Some simply ask to be named, even once, to be witnessed, to be welcomed beside the fire and told, yes, I see you. And so I speak them now, my hopes, my quiet wonders, the ones I no longer chase, but still hold close. I hope I have left some good behind. I hope someone somewhere remembers the sound of my laughter, and not just my footsteps. I hope I learned to love gently, even if I didn't always know how to say it. And I hope most of all that I've become someone the silence is not afraid to sit with. Because if the silence trusts you, you become part of its keeping. So tonight, I do not speak to fix or to guide or even to teach. I speak simply to share this warmth with you. Because I see in you a lantern too. You carry light, even if it flickers, even if you do not feel it just now, even if no one has told you in too long a time. But I see it, and I believe the stars do too. So let's sit here a little longer, shall we? Let the fire glow low. Let the snow hush the world beyond. And let the sky remember the dreams we no longer carry, because now they carry us. You may have done enough for one night, dear friend. And tonight, simply being here, being soft, too, being seen, that is more than enough. Listen, the fire's grown shy. You hear that? Just a few quiet murmurs left now, tiny hisses of breath curling up from the coals, the soft crumbling sigh of charred bark folding into ash. It's no longer trying to warm the night, only to accompany it, just like us. I've always loved this part of the evening most. Not the first lighting of the fire when it snaps and brightens like a song too eager to be remembered. But now, when it dims, when it's done speaking loudly and begins whispering instead, there's something holy in the hush of a fire that knows its work is nearly done. And I find, my friend, that my voice is following suit. It stubs softer now, not because I'm weary of words, but because everything around us invites stillness. The snow has settled in for the night. Even the wind, bold and wandering before, has tucked itself behind the pines. You can feel it resting there, just out of reach, like a cat curled on a windowsill. Even the stars have drawn close. Closer than usual, I'd say. They seem lower somehow, like lanterns suspended from an unseen ceiling. It's but quiet. Yes, but not empty. There's Sep's fullness in this stillness, the kind of weight that's gentle, like wool over shoulders, or breath shared between friends. That's what tonight has been. Not a story told, but a space shared. And I want to thank you. Not for listening, not just that. No, that would be too small. I thank you for being here, truly here, with your presence, your warmth, your silence. You gave it willingly, and that means more than you know. So I've had long nights before, nights when I spoke only to the wind, when the fire crackled for no one but the trees. And though those nights had their place, this one, this quiet hour with you beside me, this is different. It feels kept, tended, witnessed. There's a kind of peace in being accompanied, even by quiet company, especially by quiet company. My hands are still now. They rest on the hilt of my sword, not out of habit, but as if it too has grown tired. Not the tired of battle nor burden, just the kind that comes when everything that needed saying has been said. The blade, sunk into the snow beside me, has not moved all night. Its tip is buried, its handle kissed by frost. But I don't see a weapon. Not anymore. I see a stone marker, a hearthstone. Something that says, "Here rests someone who has laid things down. Not forever, but for now. And for now is enough." My breath has slowed with the wind. Yours too, I think. The rhythm between us, between our stillness and the hush around us, it's almost like a song. No melody, just a shared tempo. The pace of peace. And in this softness, I find a thought returning, one that's followed me many nights, though it only speaks when the world is quiet enough. Perhaps the stars remember everything, so we don't have to. Strange thought, isn't it? Comforting, though. All the laughter we let go of, the names we forgot to carry, the moments we couldn't just hold on to. The maybe they said not lost. Maybe they said are simply lifted, folded gently into the night sky and pinned there with starlight. What a kindness that would be, to know that nothing meaningful is ever truly gone, just remembered elsewhere. I imagine sometimes that the stars write our stories backwards, that as we breathe and pause and let go, they gather what we've left behind, not to return it, but to keep it, as a record of tenderness, of presence, of the quiet hours that mattered more than we knew. Tonight will become one of those, I think, not because of any grand tale or bright moment, but because it was slow, because it was still, because it held warmth without asking for it in return. These embers now, they remind me of moments in life that glow long after the fire has passed. A glance that lingered, a song half heard from another room, the feeling of someone's hand leaving yours, and the warmth staying a little longer than it should. Small things, but lasting. I've begun to believe that we are not made of the loudest parts of our lives. We are made of the embers, of what glows long after, of what continues quietly, even when no one's looking. And so, my dear friend, I hope you know that your presence here tonight has added to that glow, not just for me, for the night itself. The snow has taken your shape, the air has learned your breath, the fire has memorized your stillness, and when you sleep soon, I hope it will all remain, held gently by the world, not rushed, not rewritten, just, I think that sips the truest kind of peace, not the absence of thought, but the permission to rest without needing to explain yourself first. So let the world carry you now. Let the stars remember what you lived. Let the wind cradle what you laid down. Let the snow soften everything you thought you had to hold. And I will be here, beside what's left of the fire, hands resting, eyes watching the sky, not for answers, but for recognition. I'll stay a little longer, just in case the stars send something back. A breath, a flicker, the gentle nod. You, though, you can sleep. You'd done enough for one night. Sleep, dear companion of the quiet flame. And know, this night remembers you. This fire thanks you. And I carry your presence like a lantern within me. Still, warm. So colby younger. There you are, still with me, still wrapped in the breath of the fire and the hush of snow. You've stayed so gently, so fully, and now, my dear companion, the night is leaning low. The coals have quieted to a slow, steady heartbeat. Their red glow barely flickers now, just a steady shimmer, like memory made visible. Even the sky has softened its song. The ribbons of light above move like slow rivers under silk, barely there, barely moving, but faithful still. I can hear your breath, soft, even, slower now. That pleases me. It means the hush has taken root. It means you have begun to let go. You've earned that. You've earned the kindness of sleep. So sleep, my friend of frost and flame. Let the cold cradle you gently. Not to chill, but to hold. It's a different kind of warmth here, isn't it? One that lives in stillness, in firelight on the snow, in the closeness of shared silence, and in the way the stars blink like they're nodding off, too. The sky will carry your dreams now, slow and kind, as if your thoughts were small lanterns, lifted into the aurora's open arms, glowing, wandering, held in quiet motion across a heaven that forgets nothing and forgives everything. Rest, now. Let your thoughts loosen. Let the names, the faces, the unfinished pages, all of them drift, like snow across a sleeping field. There is nothing you must hold on to tonight, not even me. I will be here, just the same. The fire remembers you. It remembers how you sat with me, how your presence warmed the air as much as the flame. It remembers your stillness, your quiet company, your breath folded between the spaces of my words. It remembers because it was seen, and so were you. I will keep watch beneath the light, until dawn finds us both, still whole, still warm, still held in the long exhale of night. And when the sun rises, whenever it chooses to, it will not wake us with urgency. No, it will stretch across this snowfield like a yawn, slow, golden, patient, just as it should. But you needn't to wait for that. You may go now, gently, softly, the way snow falls when no one is watching. And if sleep should take you far, let it. For there is no danger in this place, no fear at your back, no path to keep, only rest, only the breath between us, only the memory of flame. Good night, my companion of the quiet fire. Sleep well beneath the stars that remember for you. And when you wake, if you wake, know that you were loved here, completely, peacefully, without ever needing to ask. The fire still glows, the sky still hums, and I will be here,